So my name is Hugo Araujo, and I'm here representing nature. And one of the things that I like to represent is all these my totems, which are from bacteria to mammals to plants, but also minerals. So I would like to be present from this part of bioluminescence. And bioluminescence, I chose it because I think it's very inspiring to me. It has some decision-making process as quorum sensing, as symbiotic relationships, but also the bacteria, they have a universal communication molecule. And I think this is very important for us right now if we want to spread something universal. So this is a studio that I did together with my family and wife, is Biomimika, and we wanted to experience it from nature. So we went to live in nature for about 4 years to create some bio art from there. So we explore journaling and just being naive enough to explore our visions, and this is one of our visions. So how to evolve through inspiration and being together with the flamingo nation or different sorts of nature there. So we put together all this journal and we intervene some spaces in the community, being alive, being adaptive, and being aware, but especially being soul oriented. So some of the things that we learned in biomimicry with my multidisciplinary group in evolution in nature is that it's about the power of adaptation. That is that everything is connected, and that we need to ensure the survival of the next generation. But that the small changes add up big differences, and it is about the right pace. And I think this is what we call Biomika in our work, and this took me to understand what is our human niche. If we live in one system and we need to create critical connection, not just critical mass, but critical connections, maybe our human niche is to create conditions conducive to life. So, but what about the present? And the present, it's of course, is where change is the only constant. So it is about behavior, it is about chance, it is about disturbance, but it is also about cultural evolution. We have biological evolution, but we need also cultural evolution. And this is what we put fast forward and creative shift. So being with the indigenous people as well, we think that it's about dreaming, respecting, and also loving. And this is where I really resonate with all the things that you are doing, and thanks for the invitation. So trying to put this together and trying to bring a knowledge system for humanity where we can put community and wisdom, innovation, inspiration, and creativity. I did 7 Vortex, and 7 Vortex is this biomimicry perspective where we use essential elements, life principles, and patterns from nature that allows us to see things in a different way, such as energy exchanges. And all this with the intention of creating collective intelligence for pioneers, communities, and organizations using all this process. And I'm intervening as an artist. I think the mainstream of regeneration in the way that how an evolutionary economy should work. It should be abundant, should be marketed as an ecosystem, and should be energy based on energy exchanges instead of money. And we also need to understand that needs to be interdependent. What if we can create positive industries as well? So talking about stories and talking about the future, how can we get a new perspective on our planet, such as a metabolic earth, for example, or a global biosphere if we want to understand it in a different way. And sometimes I think about it as the Isle of Blue. So this is what we call Virtual Gaia, and this is one of my latest projects where we're trying to give a different vision of the world. So we're enhancing the blue vessels of the planet, but we are also putting different layers that allows us to see the bioregions. And having this possibility, we would like kids to have this kind of toy and to understand that there are some places where we can actually see different layers like gases, different sorts of gases, and different sorts of bioregions. So it's not about the political divisions, but it's more about understanding nature and being part of it. So and so if we see the climate, we see humidity, for example, that goes into the equator, but we also see pollution, and we can see where pollution is. So if we can understand all these different layers, we might address the way that we see the planet in a more regenerative way. and we haven't seen the technology used in all these layers for this purpose. So we think intention is important. So sometimes we put knowledge on the top of it, so Seven Vortex is also there, and this is just a use case of one of the territories, where is the Mamoni Valley Preserve, a primary forest with different kinds of land use and land, where we use our visualizations, like transformation rings, to see the past, the present, and the future, to integrate Seven Vortex as a way to integrate the knowledge of organizations working on the field, but also the hive, which is a way to gather the sentiment of the community in different ways. So this is just the very beginning of the tool, but you will see more in the future, I'm very sure. And to understand that there are some focus that we need to do, and the market is not working in the way that it should work. So how can we take care of all these beautiful piece of land, and really understand that the money and finance should be completely disrupted in a way that is actually working for everyone. So once that we have all this piece, I thought about dissolve and bloom, and I think it's about dissolving this idea of maximization and blooming optimization, dissolving competition and blooming collaboration, dissolving machines and bloom nature, dissolving markets and bloom ecosystems. And I think this is one of the things, but hate and love is there. So coming from the global core, I realized that this is the balance of the planet, and the balance comes as indigenous, as biodiverse, as abundant, as thriving, and this is something that in Western world they are looking for, but it is more about free nature. And I think we need to free nature because we are nature. So unless we free nature, we are going to free ourselves. So thank you very much.